All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Today we're gonna, I got two videos. This is the first one. They're both gonna be somewhat short. In this first video, we're gonna go over a couple of the problems from lesson 17 that we didn't go over. You guys will have a quiz on lesson 17 on Wednesday, so make sure you guys take notes. Make sure you follow along. Do all that stuff. Review your stuff before Wednesday. So right here, I believe this should be page 9. It's the last page of 17, or lesson 17 before the problem set. So this one's a little bit different, but still we'll go over it. This one we'll do a tape diagram as well as a equation. So right here it says the cost of babysitting service on a cruise is $10 for the first hour, and then $12 for each additional hour after that. If the total cost of babysitting baby Aaron was $58, how many hours was Aaron at the sitter? So this one is a little trickier for the tape diagram because, alright, so let's see. The reason for this one is tricky is because we don't know how many boxes we're going to draw. So first of all, we know that for babysitting the first hour, that's $12, right? We put 12 for that one. No, 10. Sorry. The first hour is $10. Each hour after that is $12, right? But what's tricky is, so each box here represents hours, right? But the problem is we don't know how many hours they're babysitting for. That's why right here I do a little squiggly. I put 12 in those ones. So the first hour is $10. Each hour after that is 12. The little squiggly there is kind of telling that we don't know how many 12 hours are there, or how many hours they go to the sitter for 12. Alright? Don't worry, or don't, if you're a little confused on this, I kind of expect some students to be, so just try your best. We'll go over another one like this. But here we're going to label the total as 58. Right, because this is the total for babysitting was $58. The first hour cost $10. Each hour after that cost 12. But again, here we don't know how many hours, right? That's why I got that little squiggly part. So if I'm writing my equation here again, the total is going to be 58. But what do we know? We know they paid $10 for the first hour, right? And what else did they pay? They paid $12 for every hour after that. So what's the variable in this problem? The variable is the number of hours, right? We don't know how many hours they're having them babysit for. But we know for each hour it's $12. So I could do this. They charge $10 for the first hour plus $12 for every hour after that. So for example, if it's 3 hours, you do 12 times 3, right? If it's 4 hours, you do 12 times 4. So that's your equation. Again, in this case, the variable isn't inside the box. The variable is actually how many boxes there are. Each box represents an hour, and we try and figure out how many hours. And we can go ahead and solve this by getting h by itself. Subtract 10 from both sides. They cancel out. I got 12h to 58. To get rid of that 12, we divide both sides by 12. And 58 divided by 12 is 12, 24, 33, 40, 60. I did something wrong. Alright, see, we found the mistake. So here I did 58 minus 10 should be 48, right? So that should be 48. Good, so then 48 divided by 12 is 4. So the answer right there is 4, right? But this was kind of tricky here. It says, how many hours is Aaron at the sitter for? I want to see if you guys think about why it maybe isn't 4. So here you look at the equation. 4 is h, right? H is the hours where they charge you $12. They babysat for 4 hours where they charge 12. But remember that additional beginning hour, the first hour? That's another hour, right, for $10. So 1 hour here, and plus 4 hours of $12 per hour there. So total 5 hours total. Hopefully you guys understand that. And then once you guys have that, let's look at page 10, the problem set of lesson 17. We'll go over a few problems from there. The first one I told you guys not to do because it's a tricky one. Also, it's kind of like the one we just did right now. If you want to fit it in on a line of paper somewhere, or have some room at the top, you can do it there. So here it says a taxi cab in Myrtle Beach charges $2 per mile and then $1 for every person. If a taxi cab for 2 people costs $12, how far did the taxi cab travel? So they charge $2 per mile, right, and $1 for every person. So first of all, I'm drawing boxes. I put 1 in each of those. Why? Because $1 per person, right? And there's 2 people on the in the cab. And then also it's $2 per mile. So what I'm gonna do there, similar to the other one, you're gonna pay 2 per mile, but we don't know how many miles they're gonna go for. So here, this is $1 per person, so there's 2 people, and $2 per mile that they travel on the cab, right, until it gets to 12. So how many miles does it take to get to 12? So the equation here is you got the 1 plus 1, the 2 ones in the purple, right? We'll just combine that to make 2. $2 for the 2 people plus $2 per mile equals 12. Here again, our variable is m, because the question is how far did the taxi cab travel? How many miles? So again, we know the total cost is 12. They get charged $2 because there's 2 people, and they get also charged $2 more for every mile they go. I'm trying to figure out how many miles they're gonna go. Right here, I'm trying to get m by itself. Subtract 2 from both sides. So I got 2m equals 10. 5 both sides by 2. And m equals 5. And if somebody else kind of knew the answer before who solved it, that's fine. But the main objective is to be able to write the equation and solve it, showing our work like that. On your quiz on Wednesday, if you just write an equation and you just write the answer, you're not going to get full credit. You got to show how to solve it, right? All right, next one. Here we'll go over 3 and 5. I know 5 is kind of a weird one. I'll go over 3 real quick. I think most of you should get that, but in case you don't, or in case you didn't, this will help you with the quiz also. So number 3, Jillian exercises 5 times a week. She runs 3 miles in the morning and bikes in the evening. If she exercises a total of 30 miles in the week, how many miles does she bike in the evening? So you guys don't have to write this down, just maybe check with your paper. So here we're going to put 30, that's the total, right? She does it 5 days out of the week. She exercises 5 days out of the week, right? So 1 box for each day. What she does each day is she runs 3 miles in the morning, so we put 3 in each of them. But she also bikes in the evening, right? So we put plus B for each of those. Yeah, so that's your equation. Let's see. Okay, that first one doesn't really look like a B. I'll just rewrite that. So again, this is saying for every single day at 5 days, that's why we got 5 boxes. She runs 3 miles in the morning and then bikes in the evening, which we don't know how many hours. So I'm writing my equation. Notice here, all the boxes are the same, right? So I can write 3 plus B, put in parentheses, and put a 5 in front. And equals 30. Because we have 3 plus B 5 times, and the 5 in front shows that you're multiplying by 5. Having something 5 times means you're multiplying by 5. And when we have an equation like this where there's parentheses, we can solve it 2 different ways, right? If that comes up on the quiz, you guys might have to solve it 2 different ways also. So be ready to do it both ways. First way is I can get rid of that 5 first. Divide both sides by 5. I got 3 plus b equals 6. Subtract both sides by 3. And I get b equals 3. The envisioning part I go through too quickly, you look confused, you guys can always rewind a little bit to try to make sure you fully understand it. Second way you could solve for b is by first actually distributing the 5. I get 5 times 3 is 15, plus 5 times 3 is 5b, makes 30. Subtract both sides by 15. They cancel out. I got 5b equals 15. So this is telling us that when she bikes for 5 days total, it's 15 hours, right? So for each day of biking, divided by 5, she gets 3. So each day of biking is 3 hours. Alright, so make sure you guys got that. We'll go over number 5 to end it, or to end this first video. So number 5 says Jackie won tickets playing the bowling game at the local arcade. The first time she won 60 tickets. The second time she won a bonus, which was 4 times the number of tickets of the original second prize. Altogether, she won 200 tickets. How many tickets was the original second prize? This one's kind of, I think the wording on this one kind of made this problem more difficult than it should have been. But basically, for my tape diagram, she won 60 tickets on the first time, right? Then the second time, so she won a bonus, which is 4 times the tickets of the original second prize. So you say P is the second prize, right? Do something like that. So the first time she won 60 tickets. The second time she won a bonus, which is 4 times the second prize. P represents the second prize. If you're a little confused on this, I'm okay with that. I think the wording just really threw this problem off. But let's say if you got this tape diagram, if you did yours wrong, you don't got to go back and fix it. Just make sure you kind of get what I'm doing. So 200 total, right? So if I got this tape diagram though, hopefully you guys know how to write the equation. I got 60, and I got P 4 times, so I can write plus 4P. If you wrote 4P plus 60, that's okay also. Right here, subtract 60 from both sides. If 4P equals 140. Divide both sides by 4. If P equals 35. That's for number 5. Don't worry too much about that one. This next video is going to be recorded by a different teacher, but it's going to be on lesson 18. In that lesson, you're going to look at expressions. Remember, this one we're doing equations. I want to recap the difference between equation and expression. Equation has an equal sign, and expression doesn't, right? Alright, so go on to that next video.